and we're back. Ayan, sorry po sa ating konting technical difficulty. Ayan. And syempre, thank you very much sa ating technical assistant. Syempre, we have Sir Kit, yan, napakagaling na technical assistant at naibalik agad-agad ang ating live learning session. Ayan, so sayang, nahati na, hindi na natin nabasa yung sagot ng ibang students natin about their project. But of course, I am hoping that those programs may be put into reality. Alright, and now let us continue our discussion. Okay, civil society can maintain or establish a democracy in a country that is based on its functions, namely, first, democracy will run well if there are groups of people who control the government. Civil society always monitor how public officials in power using its strength in making policy, demanding the freedom of access to information, laws, or regulations such as the eradication of corruption. Second, civil society can expose events that exist within the government, lobbying to reform the existing policy. Democracies make their role more effective. Third, civil society may encourage the life of westernization in everyday life such as tolerance, moderation, compromise, and respect for differences of opinion. Without such attitudes, then democracy will not run stable. Fourth, civil society can promote democratic political participation with the fight for their rights as citizens, aspires at the voice, solving together and argue about public issues. Fifth, civil society can provide the education of democracy with the cultivation of the values, concepts, along with training that relates to democracy. 6. Civil society acts as an arena to express lobbying, which can then be strengthened democracy because of the formation of new interests and form solidarity so that democracy can be stable. And 7th, civil society can provide information and monitor the elections as well as the resolution of a conflict. Some of these functions can make democracies can be effective and legitimate because of the positive relationship between civil society and democracy. Alright, so that concludes our discussion about the civil society. Up next is all about, and sa ating next na topic will be discussed after this short break.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera,
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas!
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Alright, and we're back. Ayan. Okay, so alright, so yun nga. I-discuss naman na natin ngayon ang about sa social movements. Okay, so mag-time check po muna tayo. It's already 3:48 in the afternoon. Okay, social movements can be thought of or organized yet informal social entities that are engaged in an extra-institutional conflict that is oriented towards a goal which can be concrete and narrow policy or aimed at cultural change. That is according to EBSCO research starters in the year 2009. Furthermore, social movements are broad alliances of people who are connected through their shared interest in social change. Social movements can advocate for a particular social change, but they can also organize to oppose a social change that is being advocated by another entity. These movements do not have to be formally organized to be considered social movements. Different alliances can work separately for common causes and still be considered as a social movement. According to Tilly in the year 1978, outlined a four-stage process of social movement. First, the preliminary stage. The people become aware of an issue and leaders emerge. This is followed by the coalescence stage, when people join together and organize in order to publicize the issue and raise awareness. In the institutionalization stage, the movement no longer requires grassroots volunteerism. It is an established organization, typically with a paid staff. When people fall away and adopt a new movement, the movement successfully brings about the change it sought. Or, when people no longer take the issue seriously, the movement falls into the what we call decline stage. Social movements are purposeful, organized groups, either with the goal of pushing towards change, giving political voice to those without it, or gathering for some other common purpose. Social movements intersect with environmental changes, technological innovations, and other external factors to create social change. Technological innovations and other social change, there are a myriad of catalysts that create social movements, and the reasons that people join are as varied as the participants themselves. Sociologists look at both the macro and micro-analytical reasons that is social movements occur, take root, and ultimately succeed or fail. And that's how we define social movements. Alright, up next we'll be discussing the role of civil society towards Philippine democracy after this short break.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera.
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Alright, so are you still there, dear learners? Ayan, so may I have some heart reactions from you? Ayan, so please key in your heart reactions to our comment section, please, so that I can see if you are still with me. Ayan, shout out po sa ating 66 live viewers, ayan, and actively participating in our live learning session. Okay. So ayan, nakikita nga natin ang mga heart reactions, yan, na binibigay sa ating comment section. Ayan. Okay, napakabilis, di ko na nabasa yung kanilang mga pangalan. Sayang. Okay, but ayan. I can still feel the presence and activeness of our, of course, dear UMS 11 learners. Okay, with that, let us continue our discussion about still pa rin sa ating civil society. Okay. So civil society in the Philippines cannot opt or cannot put his position on democratization, though the movement is more courageous. However, the fragmented civil society because of the differences of different interests, civil society formed by two-stream democracy, namely the power elite and the political power, wherein it has more free space. Okay, so the fundamental strength of democracy of civil society in the Philippines discovered by a basic alliance of workers and peasants. The community banded together to build their strength. Okay, so civil society in the Philippines can make a transformation of democracy from a formal democracy into substantive democracy, wherein in order to increase transparency in government. In fact, the activities of the civil society in the Philippines are infected by the pervasive patron-client system, which they are ostensibly dedicated to subverting. Even when a new institutional process that would benefit NGOs, such as the party list elections, appears on the horizon, it is distorted by a Congress dominated by traditional politicians. Democratization still incomplete in no such process because its issues addressed by civil society and the Philippine Island reform. There are so many forms of civil society in the Philippines, such as free independent media, community-based social activism, politically sensitized parts of Catholic Church, armed underground. And for example, Bagong Alyansang Makabayan or Di Bayan was created in 1985 by more than 1,000 mass organizations wherein it fights for national and social liberation against imperialism, feudalism, and bureaucrat capitalism. Bayan fights for the nationalistic and democratic needs of the people through legal and militant forms of struggle and thought it does not participate in the armed struggle. National Secretariat of Social Action, Justice, and Peace or the NASSA was created by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines or the CBCP in 1966. It focuses on poverty, alleviation, democratic governance, ecology, and integrity of creation, peace, and development. And that concludes a social movements topic. Alright, so for our last activity, alright, so we're going to choose one of the following hashtags. Okay, so after choosing among of these three hashtags, you are going to describe them, or you're going to describe how civil society organizations and social movements contribute to Philippine society and in particular to keeping alive the democracy. Okay, I repeat. You're going to choose among of these three hashtags. Then you're going to describe how civil society's organization and social movements contribute to Philippine society and particular to keeping alive the democracy. Alright, so ito yung ating mga hashtags. First, the hashtag organisasyon para sa tunay na pagbabago. Inulit ko, hashtag organisasyon para sa tunay na pagbabago. Second hashtag, the organisasyong para sa mahihirap. And the third, organisasyong tutulong sa edukasyon ng kabataang Pilipino. Okay, inulit po natin. Hashtag organisasyon para sa tunay na pagbabago. Second, organisasyong para sa mahihirap. And the third, organisasyong tutulong sa edukasyon ng kabataang Pilipino. Okay, so please leave your answers at to our comment section and we're going to read your answers after this short break.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera.
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas!
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Alright, and we're back. Okay, so meron tayong message dito. Sabi ni Nicole, ano po yung huling hashtag? Okay, so yung huling hashtag po natin is hashtag organisasyong tutulong sa edukasyon ng kabataang Pilipino. Ayan, so mamili lang po tayo sa tatlo at bigyan po natin ng tawag dito. Ayan, so ayun, ulitin na lang daw po natin, sabi ni J. Shell Castro. Ayan, unang hashtag po natin, organisasyon para sa tunay na pagbabago. Second, organisasyong para sa mahihirap. And the third, organisasyong tutulong sa edukasyon ng kabataang Pilipino. Ayan, so ang gagawin lang po natin is to describe how civil society, organizations, and social movements contribute to Philippine society and in particular to keeping alive the democracy. Yan. So mamili lang po tayo doon sa tatlong hashtag natin at yun nga. Yan, sabihin lang po natin kung paano siya nakakatulong. Ayan, tulad nga sabi ni Jessica Basilan, ang pinili niya ay hashtag organisasyon para sa tunay na pagbabago. Kailangan po natin ng pagbabago para sa atin at para din sa ating bayan. Magkaisa tayo sa mga organisasyon at sabay-sabay tayong umunlad. Ayan, very good Jessica. Okay, next naman tayo. Sabi naman ni Alvin Limon, ang pinili naman niya ay organisasyong para sa mahihirap. Ang gobyerno ng Pilipinas ay naglunsad ng programang Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino o yung 4Ps nga na tinatawag natin na naglalayon sa pagpapabuti ng kalagayang pantao ng ating mga kababayan. Nagbibigay ito ng kondisyon na tulong pinansyal para sa pinaka mahihirap na Pilipino upang pabutihin ang kalusugan, nutrisyon at edukasyon ng mga batang may edad 0 hanggang 18 taong gulang. Kailangang matupad ng mga pamilya ang mga kondisyon ng pamahalaan upang maibigay sa kanila ang tulong pinansyal.
Amazing!
Yan, napakagaling naman ni Alvin. Okay. Next, sabi naman ni Raven, ang pinili naman niya ay organisasyon para sa mahihirap. The different organizations help vulnerable and marginalized people to improve their socio-economic status. Yes, sorry, iba na pindot ko. Ayan, wow, wonderful, napakagaling. Okay. Sabi naman ni AJ Medina, ang pinili niya ay organisasyong para sa tunay na pagbabago. This hashtag is the one that I have chosen because I believe that if there is a real change, we can really see the change from all of the problems of our country. It can lead to a better change, especially to the poor ones. It can help to change their lives, and this change can also help the education to be more productive.
Amazing!
Yan, napakahusay. Tamang-tama nga naman syempre. Magsimula yan sa pagbabago and the rest ay susunod na para mabago. Okay, yan. Next, sabi naman ni Althea, pinili naman niya ay organisasyong para sa mga mahihirap. Isa sa mga programa ng gobyerno ay ang Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino, yung 4Ps na tinatawag natin, na kung saan ayon sa kanya, malaking tulong ang organisasyong ito na nagbibigay ng oras at nag-aabot ng tulong sa mahihirap.
Amazing!
Okay, sabi naman ni Irish Ramak, organisasyong tutulong sa edukasyon ng kabataang Pilipino. Kailangang ma-prioritize ang edukasyon ng mga kabataan dahil ayon nga sa ating pambansang bayani, kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. Kabataan ang magpapaunlad sa ating bayan balang araw, kaya dapat natin itong pagyamanin. Yan, ang galing. Okay? So, I think last muna. Ayan, so according to Maxine, hashtag organisasyon para sa tunay na pagbabago. Achieving change in the society seems so impossible, but through civil society organizations, people in the society can expand their knowledge on how to achieve change. On the other hand, social movement encourages us to participate in programs with which advocates change.
Amazing!
Yan, napakagaling. Okay, so yun nga, napakarami ng mga sumasagot but unfortunately, wala na nga tayong oras. It's already 4:03 in the afternoon. Okay, at may susunod pa po na learning session ngayong hapon. Okay, so sayang at hindi na natin. So babasahin na lang namin ni Sir Geraldo Ramos mamaya yung inyong mga sagot sa ating comment section. So i-leave nyo lang po dyan. Titingnan po natin mamaya. Babasahin po namin yan ni Sir Geraldo. Okay? So with that, okay, another day of fun-filled learning has ended. I hope you had a fun learning our lesson today. This has been your radio teacher, Teacher Alkin Clemente, And join me again for another fun and exciting learning episodes next year. Of course, only here on INHS SHS Champ Campus Radio 97 MHz. Alright, so advance Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. Goodbye and stay safe.
Our world to
logical reasoning,
critical thinking.
and the ability to solve problems.
Our world today would be lost without numbers.
As a necessary component of human intellect, mathematics enables us to understand patterns, quantify relationships, and predict the future.
A universal language for global communication, giving us hope that in every problem exists a solution.
It's time to grasp the significance and value of mathematics in the modern era.
With its learning episode, we are now set to take on the realm of shapes and quantities.
Bask
In the abstract beauty of mathematics.
logical reasoning,
Critical thinking.
and the ability to solve.
Okay, good afternoon, grade 11 learners. Welcome to another enjoyable and informative learning episode of School on Air on General Mathematics. I'm so happy to share another learning experience with you only here on INHS SHS Campus Radio 97 megahertz. Always remember, even in this trying time brought by COVID-19 pandemic, the Department of Education here is to deliver quality and accessible education for all of you. I am your teacher broadcaster for today, Teacher Jack. So, just sit back and relax as we refresh the past lessons we have discussed for the previous meetings. How are you today, grade 11 learners?
Amazing.
I hope you are doing great. So please send me an emoji that represents your feeling right now in our e-class or group chat. Ayan. For Miss Maglelong, 2 like. May pa-hearts pa sila. Guys, just like how take good care of your physical body, you also have to take care of your mental health. Always remember that your teachers are always here whenever you needed us. Welcome to another enjoyable and exciting world of general mathematics. If you really with me at this moment, please send me a photo of you while holding your paper and pen and while listening to your radio.
De Luna,
Present.
Herrera,
Present.
Valera,
Present.
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present.
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
And we're back! In our previous discussion, you have learned about exponential inequalities, domain and range of exponential functions, intercepts, zeros and asymptotes of exponential function, logarithmic equations, and logarithmic inequalities. Guys, can you recall the property of exponential inequalities? Kindly send your answer on our GC or on the chat box. Okay, let's recall. One of the properties of exponential inequalities is if b is greater than 1, then the exponential function y is equal to b raised to x is increased for all x. So this means that b raised to x is less than b raised to y if and only if x is less than y. Another properties is that if b is greater than 0 but less than 1, then the exponential function y is equal to b raised to x, decreasing for all x. This means that b raised to x is greater than b raised to y if and only if x is less than y. Now, we also have the rules in solving exponential inequalities. Letter A, if the same real numbers is added to or subtract from both sides of an inequality, the sense of inequality is not changed. Letter B, if both sides of an inequality are multiplied by or divided by the same positive real number, the sense of inequality is not changed. And C, if both sides of an inequalities are multiplied by or divided by the same negative real numbers, the sense of inequality is changed. Take note for that.
Heto na ang campus radio station na kampiyon sa
De Luna, Present! Herrera, Present! Valera, Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas!
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Nararamdaman ko na ang iyong sigla sa pagbabalik-aral sa iyong nakaraang aralin. If you can still remember how to solve problem regarding exponential inequalities, so let's try these problems. A, 3 raised to x plus 1 greater than 81. B, 2 raised to 4x plus 1 less than or equal to 64. please send your answer on our GC or you can send it on our chat box. I'll get back to you after a short break.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Ayan, ang dami kong nakitang correct na answer sa ating GC and sa ating chat box. So, the correct solution set for letter A is 3 and positive infinity. And for the letter B is negative infinity and 5/4. So, ayan, ang gagaling ng mga grade 11 STEM natin. Ganon din sa mga grade 11 ABM and as well as sa mga Humes 11 naman. Ayaw magpatalo.
Amazing!
So, let's move on to the domain and range of exponential functions. Domain of function is the set of all allowable values of x, commonly known as the independent variable or possible input of the functions. While range of a function is the set of output values, commonly known as the independent variable. When all x values in the domain are evaluated into the function. Alright, subukan naman natin tong problem na to. So here are the questions. Identify the domain and range of the following. 1. F of x is equal to 3 raised to x minus 2 plus 5. And B. F of x is equal to 4 raised to x plus 1. So I will give you a moment to answer that and post your answer on our GC or on the chat box. I'll be back after a short break.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Okay, how are you my dear learners? So, tapos na po bang answeran? Yung mga problems? So, ayan, nakikita ko na ulit yung mga answer po sa chat box and as well dun po sa GC natin. So, okay. Here are the correct answers for letter A. The range is from positive 5 to positive infinity. And for the domain, it is from negative infinity up to positive infinity. While for letter B, the range is from 0 up to positive infinity. And for the domain is from negative infinity up to positive infinity. Ayan, ang gagaling talaga ng mga students natin. from Karen Bayukan, as well as Pauline Rosete, and all others.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Okay, try naman po natin regarding po sa zero exponential function. So, here are the problems. 1. Find the zero of the function h of x is equal to 3 raised to 4x minus 3 minus 1. So, I'll give you a moment to answer this problem, and I'll get back to you after a short break.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Ayan, so tignan po natin kung correct po yung mga answer po natin. So the correct answer to the given problem, is the zero of h of x is 3/4 or 3/4. Ayan, try naman po natin about problem regarding intercepts of exponential functions. So I know you can still recall how to solve it. That is why I'm giving you this problem. So find for the x and y intercept of g of x is equal to 5 raised to x minus 125. So again, I'll give you a moment to answer it. Again, so find for the x and y intercept of g of x is equal to 5 raised to x minus 125. Ayan, nakikita ko ang daming correct na answers. Ang gagaling nilang mag-imagine. Ganyan talaga, lalong-lalo na yung mga STEM students. And ganun din sa mga ABM.
Amazing!
As well as mga HUMs. Okay, Kate Winslet Curampes.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Ayan, tignan po natin kung tama po yung mga answers po natin. So, the correct answers for the x-intercepts of the function is 3 and 0, while its y-intercept is 0 and negative 124. So, ayan, Miss Madeline Pascua, Miss Bea Navarro, Miss Natasha Marie Pagulayan. So, x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 1, negative 124. Galing! Okay, let's move on to the to solving logarithmic equations. So here are the steps in solving logarithmic equations. If you can still remember, please send a thumbs up emoji on our GC, or you can send it through our chat box. Okay, here are the steps. First, rewrite the equation to exponential form. Second, use logarithmic properties and laws of logarithm. And C, apply the one-to-one property of logarithm. So let's try this problem. Find the value of x in the given logarithmic equation, that is log base 4 of 5 of x equal to log base 4 of x plus 24. Again, for letter A, log base 4 of 5 of x equal to log base 4 of x plus 24. Letter B, log base 3 of 2x minus 1 equal to 2. Again, log base 3 of 2x minus 1 equal to 2. So I'll give you a moment to answer it.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Ayan. Nakikita ko na po yung mga correct answers, Mr. Fernandez.
Amazing!
For the letter A, correct answer is 6. And for the letter B, correct answer is 5. Miss Sheila, Miss Charlene Sonner. X is equal to 6 sa number 1 and sa number 2 x is equal to 5. Okay, very good. Ayan, yung mga magagaling nating mga students. Kuhang-kuha ang tamang sagot. Alvin James Limon. Kanon din si Robin Raimundo.
Amazing!
Ayan. So guys, I am so much glad that you have participated well in our session for today. Congratulations!
Amazing!
Keep it up. Don't forget to send your reflection for today to your general mathematics teachers. Stay tuned for the next learning episode only here on 97.00 MHz INHS SHS Campus Radio. In this challenging time, remember always that it makes a big difference in your life when you stay positive but not on COVID. So stay at home and always follow IATF protocols. Again, I am your teacher broadcaster, Teacher Jack, who always say, constant practice will make something perfect. Stay safe and Merry Christmas to all.
Good afternoon. For the last 8 hours, Isabela National High School on air, Senior High School, Champ Campus Radio 97 MHz located at San Vicente City of Ilagan, Isabela has been broadcasting. Our 50 watts transmitter found at San Vicente City of Ilagan, Isabela is owned by the Department of Education, Region 2. Our technical team is led by our Principal 4, Mr. Silvino B. Cabangan, and Assistant Principal 2, Ma'am Elvira A. De Los Reyes. INHS SHS faculty and staff, fully supported by the Schools Division Office of the City of Ilagan through the leadership of the Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Gilbert Naragtong. This radio station aims to provide relevant, accessible, and quality education to all INHS SHS learners. This likewise aims to propel our students' journey in the realization of their dreams and aspirations in life. Continue to stand by our next broadcast from Monday to Friday. Again, good afternoon and may the Lord bless us all.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Isabela National High School on air, Senior High School. Champ Campus Radio is now signing off.